Hello, my little tiddlywinks, and welcome back to another episode of Prison Architect. So I was looking on the wiki, because I noticed something when I was over here, and I was like, oh, we're gonna make this, this is gonna be one of our parole rooms, just because we're getting enough prisoners that we probably need it. And then I was like, oh, I was looking at objects, and I was looking for that visitor's table originally. But then I was looking here, and I was like, arcade cabinet? Now, wait a minute, what? This is one of the new items that was added in. That right there is the drink machine, but this is the arcade. So, in this last update, and I actually had to go look at this and see what was on the wiki, if you open this up, some of the new items, we got the arcade, which is super cool. They actually made it now so that there are two different types of televisions. There's the normal little TV that we have in a bunch of rooms, and there's a large TV. What actually happens is, with the TVs, they have like an area in front of them of like 3 blocks or a 3x3 or something like that. That actually is the area of their viewing. So when you put this into a room, they actually watch TV now. They will go and like sit down in chairs, on couches and whatnot. And they'll even do it like out in here. So maybe we want to put a TV out here. Not one of these little ones, but like the giant one. And this will actually cover a bigger area. Not sure how big, but when they are watching, the prisoners, their recreation, that the need in here, recreation, will actually go down. Which is really cool that they actually implemented that. So yeah, that was one of the other big updates. I don't remember if there was any other ones. Let me scan here real quick. I don't think there was any other big items, at least that I can remember. That arcade is super cool. I think that's really neat. But yeah, I think that was the only other big one that I think was in there. Other than some other really cool updates, I mean, they added a whole bunch of events. Like I remember I was telling you about, I had said that the radios, people were getting a transmission from some guy that was getting them riled up. That was one of the new events that happened. They had some other ones, like food poisoning is a new one. There was a couple others that seemed really cool. I'm really happy that they added that. And I didn't realize it took them 6 years to get to this point. 6 years to make that game. That is amazing. And I give props to those guys for making such a cool game. One of the other really cool things that I found out is under this intelligence button. I usually just looked at this. I was like, oh, here's the supply, here's the demand, there's a whole bunch of stuff, which is not good. So I'm going to start that shakedown. But something else that I don't know if I showed you guys, these are new. These options here, but this one, this dangers, this actually shows you in the rooms where people steal stuff from. So like spoons, forks, knives come from in there. Stuff like cell phones, poisons, narcotics can come from medical center. Other places have big ones like here. These have some of the really bad ones. This is what a lot of them use to tunnel out. Apparently you can find clubs in the cleaning rooms. But anyway, yeah, no, that's really amazing that that's there. But then they added this. So in the past 24 hours, this shows all contraband that was taken from prisoners. So this is showing right now. This is going to go up because we're finding all these things. But you can see, like, right here, this was hidden, found. There's the owner. And it shows you where it came from. So that little red line shows you where it traveled, which is really cool. And you can go back 7 days. You can see all the stuff that was found. And then you can go back in here, and this is where things were stolen from. So, like, stuff over here. This is not a normal room that you actually find stuff, but they threw it. Or traded and did all sorts of stuff. So they actually find out who's doing what. And you can see what kind of crazy stuff happens. Which is super cool. I never saw that in this game before. And once I saw that on the wiki, that this was in the updates, I was like, holy cow! That's so cool! It's like real life or something. But yeah, and then what else is really neat is you can have an informants page. Which, I never really saw them before. I know there was a way to do it, but you can get an informant. Like, what you have to do, you have no CIs on record, okay. But you can recruit prisoners under duress, so in, like, solitary. So if we have, like, this lady here, we should be able to somewhere in here, I think there's a way... No, not there. Not there. Not there. So I'm not quite sure how to actually do it. Well, maybe to do that at a separate time. We'll figure it out. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, there's ways that you can actually go and get informants. They'll tell you when people are planning on digging out. Which is really neat. I think that's a really cool feature to this game. There's another one of these little notebook pages. Special events. So yeah, these are really cool. Just pay attention to some of these kind of things. It's really neat. They've added events and stuff like that to the game, because that's what real life is like. Now, like I said before, we wanted to start getting this security one done. So we need a security room. So to do that, we're just going to go ahead and we're maybe going to map this out so we've got enough room for one more of these little family cells right here. And then the rest of this space, I suppose, is going to get turned into our security. Yeah. Maybe not all the way up to here. We'll leave some actual grass, you know, for shits and giggles. Throw a chill door in here, and bam. Go into super speed, because this game takes forever. If you don't. Now, something else we didn't do, gotta get that parole going. I almost forgot. While they work on that, we will add in a couple more of these parole hearings. That's 1, 2, 3. That's right. I don't think we can start another one. I don't think it lets you anymore. That's really nice. So yeah, there we go. We should be good. Those 3 are active. Those will be active. Perfect. Boom. Alright, so we got a room there. And now we're going to go ahead and... we're going to fill up this space. At least this big for now. It won't really have to be too much bigger, but we're definitely going to put the staff door in there. That's really important. You don't want your prisoners just getting, you know, into security. Well, security is a really helpful thing. Like, right now, like, you can see in, like, visitation, we can't see anything in there at all. And, like, some of these other rooms, like these family cells, we can't see anything going on. And most of these cells normally won't be able to see. Oh, see, look at this. Look at these stupid people. They keep trying to tunnel out. Apparently, one of the events that you can have happen is a mass tunneling, where a whole bunch of people apparently try and tunnel. Oh, and another update I never even noticed. Over here, there's an undo button now. So if you build something, you can hit that undo, and it'll make it go away. Oh goodness, now what? One of the spiritual leaders we bring in for our religious programs has been riling up the inmates with all kinds of hateful speech. They've been fired, but the prisoners will take some time to cool down. Okay, so it looks like that program is going to be down for a while, our spiritual leader, which if I remember right, looks like a little, like, Buddhist monk, so I don't quite understand that one, but whatever. I'll have to figure that out in a little bit here. What are you doing? You're just, like, making a mess right there. Jesus. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so in this room, we're going to make that security. So really the only thing I think the security actually needs to have is an office desk, a chair, and a filing cabinet. That's it. But we're actually going to put stuff in it. So, we're going to cut that down. Go ahead and we'll put it right there. And we'll throw a filing cabinet right there. And we'll put a chair right there. Ta-da! That'll be security. We're done. Nope, we're done. No, we're really not. What we need to do in here is, for our grant, we need to have the CCTV, that's closed-circuit television monitor, and a camera. And I think we only need to put in one camera, but we'll put in a few. Just because it will be worth it. So, these are pretty big. I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to install one right there. And you'll see what'll happen. The other thing that you put in security is there's phone taps right here. Then you can put in the door control systems, which is really cool. I haven't played with this all that much, so I don't really know how all of it works. We'll get into that at some point, but right now, it'll be okay. So we need to put power to those. It's a pretty big thing. And over here, we still have this power grid hooked up, so I think we're going to just run it from over here. And something else that I found was really amazing about this game is, notice how this is like a light green, and this is a dark green, and then this is a different green. They actually color code all the different systems, and I never noticed that until I was building one day, and I was like, why is that green different? And then I realized, hey, they're two separate grids. They actually colorize the grid. That's really neat, I think, at least. I mean, I'm probably just crazy, but you know what? It's really cool in my opinion. So now we have a security. This isn't going to do anything. It's not hooked up. So what you have to do is put in some of these cameras. Now, you actually have to figure out which way they're facing. Now, I think it's the little... I think it's when the light, or the little circle is on this side. I think. Sometimes the only way to do it is to hook it up. You know, I don't want that right there. I want it right in the middle. And once we get somebody to do that for us, then we can actually hook it up. Alright, so you can see this is inactive. Build more CCTV monitors. What you have to do is click on here and you'll see a connect button. And that'll open up this menu. It's in utilities. What you have to do is drag this over and click. And I can tell you this camera's backwards. You can see here the area it's trying to look at is there. So we're just gonna go ahead and dismantle that. So it looks like the square box should be in the front. There's a mod that I've actually looked at one point that actually puts, like, I think it's like an arrow or something like that, so you can actually see which way it's supposed to go. It's kind of a big flaw that I wish they would have, you know, put into the game originally, but that's okay. Not a big problem. So we'll go ahead, he'll put that right up for us. Boop, done. And we just connect it over. And now we can actually see. So this will actually give us vision to this room. It'll cycle it back and forth. For something like this room, it's not a big deal. But yeah, so yeah, that should... so we need to place a couple cameras. We got 16% for that one. Okay, whatever. We'll go ahead and put a few more in then. Won't be a big problem. They're kind of expensive, but not a big deal. We'll go ahead and put a camera there. We'll throw a camera in here. Put a couple in the laundry room. Put one in this cleaning cupboard. That should be enough, I think. Might be wrong. Probably am. But yeah, generally, I usually don't put them in, like, the cells. You could, if you're going to build the dorms, definitely put those cameras in. But, yeah, there we go. So we passed that grant, we got a whole bunch of money. And now I'll actually be able to get view once these all get put in. But you can see, when they're not connected, they will flash at you. So that's really handy, so that you know which ones. And each of these can only hold so many. I forget exactly how many it is. There is a limit to how many they can actually hook up to. But for them to work, you will have to have a guard sitting at this station. So if there is no guard, these cameras won't work. So yeah, now you can see we've got some nice view of all these places. These will work together. We can see what's going on in there, which is good. And what's kind of neat is they kind of... I'm not sure exactly how it all works, but you can kind of usually see into some of the rooms. Like this camera, I think, can kind of see through the doors or something, maybe. Not entirely sure. It's kind of a weird feature, but at least we can now see, which is good. And once that guy gets tired, I put the staff room right here. He can just go out these doors and go in here and take a rest and come right back in. But thankfully, a guard will always go into this room if that's not being used. So if this guard leaves, another guard that's not doing anything will go there. Now, I've never really figured out what the best number of guards is. I really haven't. You know, like right now we've got 20 guards. We technically got 84 prisoners right now, because a bunch of them are babies. Again, I kind of thought that was kind of a weird thing that they did, where babies count as a prisoner. But whatever, that's okay, not a big deal. I mean, the game's done. I believe this was the final update. I don't think they plan on doing anything, unless there's some major big bugs that they haven't found. But yeah, so that's security. So that's really neat. It's a really cool feature. If you want, we can do Let's see, here's the phone tap. Again, you have to have a guard that's going to sit there and do it. So you'll always have to have another guard. You can see we're pretty low on available guards, just, you know, not doing anything. A bunch of them are stationed or actually patrolling, so you put that in backwards, or is that going to magically flip around? Okay, it did. So yeah, so you have to connect these just like the other things, and you just connect those to phones. So like, here's a couple phones. I don't entirely know exactly what it's supposed to do. I think it's just supposed to help listen for when, you know, people plan on doing bad things, I think. So that's a really cool feature, I think. It's really simple, nothing too crazy. So yeah, we are doing good. We just passed another grant. So we're down to just one more available. Now there's 2 hidden, and I'm pretty sure all they are is increases in size to the prison. So this one we need to get up to 200 people. I'm going to go ahead and start it, just because we can. Gives us a little bit of money, so that we can do some of these bigger things. But yeah, so there you go. We've got that. I believe the next one will be like cell block E, B, C, D, E. Yeah, I know my alphabet, yeah. So yeah, I think it goes E and then F. I think like the next one's like 500 people and then 1,000. And you get some money, but it's not a lot. I mean, you can see here they give you 10 grand and then 20 grand if you complete. Not a big deal, it's okay. But yeah, we'll be okay. We don't have to cancel these. We'll just let them sit there until we get them. So that'll pretty much be from now on, because we have, I believe, every other type of room available. I think the only one, like I said, the only 2 we don't have any of would be the shower and the dormitory. But I think we're going to build some of those this episode. I think it'll be worthwhile doing. We don't have a holding cell. I've never found a really big need for them. It's really just when they come in, if there isn't an available place, that's where they'll put them. It might be worth having. Maybe it would be worth having. Maybe we should put one in case there are more prisoners with babies, just to put them in a room. I don't know. What do you guys think? Would it be worth having a holding cell? Do you guys want me to just have a holding cell just for, you know, the hell of it? It's up to you. I'm not too geared either way. Like I said, I don't see a big need for it, but that's okay. But yeah. So, yeah, we can see here we got these little forestry guys are working. They're dealing with these trees. They plant new ones as they cut them down, and they sell over in exports. They'll sell some of those, but they'll also put some of the wood that they chop down over here. Yeah, there's some wood right here. They'll actually use those to make those beds at some point. Something else that I'm probably going to do, because it doesn't look like they're getting their supply of metal that they should be. So I'm going to go ahead and put a couple more tables in here, just so they have them. So that should be good. So I think overall, we're probably doing pretty good. So the education's something that we have to deal with, but it's really just more about getting them to pass. There's not much we can do from there. We really just gotta wait for them to do it. And same thing with the beds. You can see we're actually producing beds now. We've gotten, looks like they've made 2, but they have to make all 10 in one day, which I always thought was kind of a mean thing. So we eventually have to get enough of this built up, which we have a whole bunch of money, so we could start adding some more and getting more people working here, which might be worth it, you know. So let's go ahead and we'll get a couple more of these carpenter benches. I don't know if they'll work if you put them right up against each other like that, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some space between them. So we'll get 4 of those going. Well, let's do it right up. There we go. So I got a bunch of them. We might have to. Let's just do it. Let's just do it right there. Bam. So now, hopefully that's 10. If we can get 10 people working in here at any given time, that actually have, you know, like right now, max jobs is that many. It'd be nice to get a few more, but that's okay. So we'll get those in. We'll extend this some more, maybe get some more of these going. Whatever. Won't be a big deal, I hope. So yeah, so once that just does its thing, we'll be able to pass that. Once these guys do their thing, and somebody passes that general education course, we'll get 40 grand, which is awesome. But for now, I think what we'll just have to end up doing is just expanding. Like I said, I think we're gonna make a dorm right here. I think that's where we're gonna put the dorm room. just to have a dorm, you know, for the hell of it. I'm probably also going to have to bump this up a little bit, and I might just do that on my own in some, you know, some spare time here in a minute, but I think what we'll do is we'll make that. We'll take a short break, give myself a drink, see how we're doing on time, then we'll build a dorm. Really nice dorm, I think. I think it's going to be a really fancy dorm, so it'll be the highest grade we can get. Anywho, I will be welcome back. So, for our last little point, we're going to sit here and we're actually going to work on a dormitory. These need to be, they can be small. If you want to only have 2 people, that's not a problem. I believe you have to have, that says minimum size is 2 by 3, but I'm pretty sure you need to have at least 4 spaces for each prisoner. I believe that's how it works. But I want to make a nice dormitory, so in the room quality, I built this really big. So 18 squares per prisoner is what they're going to want to get 3 points. So right now, we go to like this, and we double check. So that's 18 by 8. So we can have 8 prisoners in here, and they won't have any downfalls to that prison rating. So what we need to be able to put in here is you can put beds. You can put 8 beds if you really want to. Or we can put bunk beds. Have it be, you know, a little sleepover. So yeah, there we go. So that'll be 8 beds or 8 sleeping spots, so that should be enough. And I think really technically the only thing you need is a bed and toilets to make it an actual room. But let's double check in here. So what are the other things? So 1 shower head for 4 prisoners, so we need 2 of those, 2 TVs, 2 radios, 2 bookshelves, 2 chairs, 2 pool tables, and at least 1 window. Cool, no problem. We can do that. You know. So let's go ahead and let's design this room up. So we've got 4 beds. Let's make the bathroom over here. So the big problem is if you put in walls, it takes away space for the prisoners. So I'm not going to be too worried about giving them like magical privacy. So there's their toilets. That's all. They don't, you know, they don't need anything other crazy. So there we go. We need to have at least 2 showers. So you got to put 2 of those in, and 2 shower heads. And I will go ahead and put the radiator right here. I believe the radiators, they cover a pretty big space. So like we've only put like 1 in the canteen, and that's all nice and warm. So 1 in this room should be more than fine. We'll go ahead and we'll put these over by the toilets because, you know, get your reading material and go sit on the toilet. Admit, we've all done it. We're gonna put 1 of the TVs on this side. We'll put the other TV on that side. Let's see, what else do we need? So we got the TVs, we need to put some radios. We'll put the radios over by the bunks. I think, you know, people like listening to music while they sleep, right? I do. I absolutely love it. That also reminds me, I need to put in all these radios back in the other room, so we'll do that in a second. We also need some pool tables. So we'll go ahead and we'll put them right there. Why not? Looks nice, there's some space, I suppose. So let's see, what else do we need? So we need chairs and windows. So no problem, that's not a big deal. So let's go ahead and we'll put some windows. Here's a window. Yeah, we'll put a couple right here. Why not? Done. We've got windows. We can also go ahead and I'm just gonna throw a couple of those in for the hell of it. Now, I don't know if the sofas actually count as seating. I'm gonna try it. Let's see what happens. Sounds like something bad just happened somewhere. Somebody was getting attacked or beaten up. So this is now a room. We can actually fill this up. We're gonna have, it's like a whole bunch of prisoners just showed up. So let's not forget, gotta connect all of our water systems. that on over. Small pipes to these here toilets. Let's see, where's the nearest hot water? Oh, that should work. That should be no problem. Oh, I apologize if I'm sniffling here. I have pretty bad allergies, especially towards these fall kind of days. And I know it's still August, but they're already kicking in, which is no fun. And I'm even sitting in like an air-conditioned room, and it's miserable. My eyes itch. Terrible. So yeah, this should be now a functioning room. We'll get some prisoners in here. I think we just got a whole bunch of them, so they'll actually start being in this room. Now, one thing that I would always suggest with dormitories, under the deployment, you have the ability to section off places. These dorms, I would always say, minimum security only, for sure. And something else that you want to do is, you can use this staff only on the outside. So if any prisoner comes out here, they'll get brought right back in. So it's a really useful thing, and you can go around to a bunch of your rooms and make sure that no prisoners go into some of them. Like this room right here. I don't want prisoners going in there. It's a staff door, but I just want to make sure, you know. Some of these, like that one's another one I wouldn't want them in. I don't want them going into the storage rooms. That's another one of the little heating rooms there. I don't want them going into our energy rooms. Shouldn't have any of them going to staff rooms, which I need to build more out. There should be some more staff rooms down here. It's really important to have staff rooms. Don't let them in there, don't let them in there. Don't let them in any of these places. Can't do it out here because these aren't technically a room. Gotta let them in there. Don't want them in that section. Don't want them in there. Don't want them in the staff room. There we go. So now, all this grayed out areas where they can't go. All the white is where they can go because that's just shared. But minimum security. If you put higher security in here, you'll increase the rate at which people fight. It could get pretty bad, so just make sure you go ahead and, you know, make these minimum security only. Something else I want to do in this is, let's give them some other objects. So, some nice, you know, some of those other unique things, like that new arcade would be kind of cool. I think it'd be really neat for them to have an arcade in there. As well as we'll probably put one in over at the, there we go. Oh, see that's mail. There's a little package there, that's mail. Which, they got mail pretty quick. So anyway, we'll go ahead and up here in this common room, we'll throw in a couple arcades. I think it said, like, 2 prisoners can play this. I think she's playing right now on this, pool table. Yeah. Which is really neat. I think it's really cool. I don't know why she's, you know, on the table. I mean, I suppose I could have been playing this round the whole time. Oh man, I just noticed. Why are there naked prisoners everywhere? Yes, this is a naughty game. You can see their little digitized boobies, and ha ha ha. When they turn around, you can see their butts. Ha 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 ha. Okay, man up, guys. Anyway, like I was saying, we passed the beds. They made 10 beds. Just because I think we put in 10 of these, which means they made 10 beds. Which is cool. We got a bunch more money. Look at that. We're making monies. Now, dorms are nice because this is a big one. This is a really nice dorm. Because, like you can see, if you go into the room quality... Okay, so chairs, you have to actually use actual chairs. I did not know that. So let's dismantle these. And we will actually use real chairs, and we'll make this a 10 out of 10 room. Which will be super cool. I'm kind of excited for that. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, so we'll actually have a full 10 out of 10 room. We'll actually be able to upgrade a bunch of these other rooms, because you can see some of these 3s and 4s, which aren't the greatest. That's okay. It's not the end of the world, but like I said, we'll upgrade them so they're at least decent. Like this guy here is a 9 out of 3. He should be over here. That 9 means how much he should have, but he's in a 3 cell, so it's not too great. Or she. My bad. I said he, being sexist, etc. These rooms, I want to get them up to 10s, because you can see we got the 16 square feet, so we just need all the rest of the stuff to put in there, and that won't be too bad of a problem. Like, this is a great room. This person, I don't know why it's not registering what they're supposed to be. Maybe there is no occupant in this room right now. It could be that that one person's supposed to go in there, but there we go. Got rid of those. Let's go ahead and put chairs in. So I think you could, like, cover that much space. I think is what it's supposed to be. Why? Oh, they dismantled the box. Ugh. I hate when that happens sometimes. But anyway, yeah, that's super cool. I think, like, you know, that's a really neat factor. They added some other cool little things in like that. You know, some arcade games in a game. Oh god, it's Gameception! But anyway, so that's the dorms. They're really nice. Early on, this is actually one of the best things you can use because they're dirt cheap to make compared to even like these individual cells. I mean, these are slightly larger cells. You can get away with 2 by 3, so not having this section here. But in these, you can pack a lot more people into a small area. But because, you know, we made this big just to get this room quality, you can technically have it just 6 squares per prisoner. I think you're technically allowed to do like 4, but you're not going to have high cell ratings. But if you're going to need a lot of prisoners to make money, the best way to start out is definitely go with the dorms. But, I don't know, at the same time, the dorms aren't very good. The biggest downfall is all 8 of the prisoners that can now be in here can all work together. So all 8 of them can be basically stealing objects and putting them in the toilet, digging out. They don't have far to go. So if you're going to build dorms, I suggest building them on the inside most part of your prison. Because if, say, like, we'll pretend like we filled this whole area up with cells and stuff. We'll pretend like that. So the easiest way for them to escape would be for them to dig from here all the way through this and then to get out. So I would always suggest putting them out here because these guys will escape a lot more often than these guys will, just because they can work together. And some other big things is make sure minimum security. Even medium security prisoners, they will fight, they will kill each other, it'll be bad. So I would say avoid doing that, alright? Anywho, I think that's going to be it for this video. In between, I'm probably going to go ahead and upgrade all these rooms so that they're a little bit nicer, get things up to par, plant some more trees in here, maybe make a few more cells. We'll see what happens. Then we'll bring it back and see what else crazy mischief we can get into. Sadly, at this point, we've covered most of the game. Like I said, the only other thing we have left is some more cell blocks. Just increasing in the numbers. So there might be some in-between time where I just play on my own, keep bumping up the number of prisoners, change things around. Like, at some point, we're going to have to extend this canteen. So we're going to probably move the yard and just fill this all up with canteen. We might try and make another one. We'll see if that glitch that I always end up happen might happen again. I think what I'm going to actually do right now is we're going to fix that loan. No more loan. We're good. But our credit rating is 10. The maximum we can get is 250 grand. So that's really nice. So yeah, that bank loan's really handy. But yeah, anyway, we're out of grants. The only other big things that we can play with are some of the automated door systems that they have in here, and some of the automated systems like, I think, like road gates. Those are designed to be put across, you know, big surprise roads. We don't have that problem because we're not crossing the road at this point. What you can do is, like, say I can put one here and one here so that, you know, prisoners can be transported across. We're not probably going to do that anytime soon. Maybe we will. Maybe what we'll start doing for the next video is get this legal going and work on death row. I don't know if there's really that much of a need for them. You could see that. Well, we don't even have the option yet, but we'll see what we can do. I think it'll be another interesting step that we can take. Probably the only other last big step, other than starting to add some of the minimum, or the medium and maximum security. So, we'll see what we can get, mischief we can get into the next video. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you next time, but until then, remember, have a fabulous day, and stay in trouble. Bye-byes!